Jungkook holds Jimin tight amid falling snow on New Year's Eve. A heart-wrenching moment fans can't stop crying over. Snowflake black. Don't let go, not now. Jungkook's voice cracked through the biting wind, almost swallowed by the sudden flurry of snow that fell like silver shards around them. The city square was nearly empty, lit only by the flickering glow of old street lamps and the distant fireworks that threatened to explode at any second. Jimin's body trembled, not from the cold, though the icy flakes dusted his hair, but from the raw, unspoken fear in Jungkook's eyes. They had run, not because they were being chased in a literal sense, but because something inside both of them felt like the world itself was collapsing. Tensions that had been simmering for months, the secrets they'd tried to bury, the lies they'd pretended not to see, all of it was crackling between them, a static charge in the frozen night. Jungkook's hands gripped Jimin's shoulders, pulling him close. His heart pounded violently, and for a fleeting second, Jimin thought he could feel it synchronize with his own. I can't breathe, Jimin whispered, voice quivering, eyes wide as he clutched at Jungkook's coat. His mind flashed back to every sleepless night, every unspoken word, every moment of doubt. Had Jungkook always known? Had he always seen through the walls Jimin had built? Jungkook's lips brushed against the top of Jimin's hair, a soft, desperate promise. Then don't. Breathe with me, just a few seconds more. Stay here, stay with me. His words weren't just comforting, they were a lifeline. Every muscle in his body was taut with emotion. Love, fear, regret, and the urgent need to protect the person he cared for most. Around them, the world blurred. Snowflakes landed on eyelashes, melted on frozen cheeks, and glittered in the dim light like tiny stars. The distant echo of fireworks rolled over rooftops, a sound both celebratory and haunting, mirroring the storm in their hearts. Jimin felt a strange warmth despite the cold, the kind that came from being completely seen, completely understood, and completely safe in someone's embrace. Yet the tension was far from resolved. They were on the brink of confrontation, not just with the outside world, but with themselves. Jungkook's grip tightened imperceptibly, as if anchoring them both to reality, to the fragile thread of hope that had somehow survived months of uncertainty. Jimin leaned further into him, letting himself be vulnerable in a way he never allowed with anyone else. You're not alone, Jungkook murmured, his forehead resting against Jimin's. I won't let you be, ever. Those words, simple yet profound, hit Jimin harder than anything else. For the first time in what felt like forever, he believed them. And in that belief, the world seemed to pause, the snow falling, the distant cheers of New Year's Eve, the cold wind biting at their skin, all fading into insignificance. A sudden gust made them both stumble, and Jimin laughed nervously, the sound breaking through the tension. You really are crazy, he said, voice catching with laughter and tears alike. Jungkook smirked, brushing a flake of snow from Jimin's hair, but his eyes remained solemn. Maybe, but crazy for you, always. Seconds stretched into eternity. For that brief, frozen moment, there was no past, no future, just the warmth of each other's presence, the silent confession that words could never fully capture. It was a pure, unguarded, heart-shattering intimacy, the kind that leaves an indelible mark on the soul. When the first firework exploded in a cascade of golden sparks overhead, it reflected in their eyes, making them shimmer. Jungkook pulled back slightly, brushing his thumb over Jimin's cheek. Happy New Year, he whispered, voice low and trembling. Jimin's lips quivered into a small smile, tears slipping free as he murmured back, Happy us. And for a fleeting moment, amidst the falling snow and the echo of fireworks, the world seemed to forgive them. The chaos, the mistakes, the fears, they all dissolved into the magic of that single, perfect embrace. Jungkook's heartbeat was a drum in his ears as he led Jimin through the narrow, snow-covered alleys behind the square. Every flicker of light seemed a potential threat, every echo of footsteps, or maybe just the crunch of their own boots, made them flinch. The celebration of New Year's Eve felt like a distant dream, replaced by the cold immediacy of survival and truth. Where are we even going? Jimin's voice trembled, half curiosity, half accusation. His eyes darted nervously between Jungkook's rigid form and the dark silhouettes of buildings looming over them. Somewhere safe, at least for now, Jungkook replied, though even he sounded uncertain. His jaw was tight, eyes scanning every corner. I didn't want you to see this side of things, but there's no more hiding. Jimin stopped abruptly, turning to face him. Snowflakes clung to his lashes, and his eyes, wide, vulnerable, bore into Jungkook's like he was challenging him to explain, to confess. No more hiding? Jungkook, what are you talking about? What's happening? For a moment, Jungkook's walls cracked. He swallowed hard, words threatening to spill in a torrent he hadn't prepared for. There are people, dangerous people, Jimin. They've been following me, waiting, and now they might follow us. His grip on Jimin's hand tightened, white knuckles revealing the panic he tried to mask. Jimin's lips parted in shock, then slowly curled into a bitter, incredulous smile. Dangerous people? You're serious? Jungkook, why didn't you tell me anything, all this time? His voice wavered between hurt and fury. You could have been honest with me. I tried, Jungkook said, voice dropping, almost a whisper. I thought I could protect you without dragging you into it, but I can't, not anymore. He exhaled sharply, and the cold air made his words visible in small, trembling clouds. And Jimin, I couldn't risk losing you. Jimin's eyes softened for a fleeting second, but anger still simmered beneath the surface. And yet here we are, running through freezing alleys like a scene from a thriller movie. You really have a way of making chaos poetic, huh? Jungkook's lips twitched, a shadow of a smile, though the tension didn't leave his shoulders. Poetic? His tone was dry, teasing, but the underlying fear betrayed him. I'm trying to keep us alive. Before Jimin could respond, a sharp noise cut through the night, a metallic clang from a nearby alley. Both of them froze, hearts hammering in unison. Jungkook's body went rigid, instincts kicking in. He pulled Jimin behind a stack of crates, pressing him close. Stay quiet, don't move. Jimin's hands shook against Jungkook's chest. What was that? I don't know, Jungkook admitted, voice low and urgent. Could be them, could be someone else, just trust me. For long seconds. They were statues in the shadows, snowflakes melting on their hair and eyelashes. The world seemed to hold its breath, the distant fireworks now completely drowned out by a menacing silence. Then footsteps, slow, deliberate, closer. Jimin's grip on Jungkook tightened instinctively. Jungkook, I'm scared. You're not alone, Jungkook murmured, brushing a lock of snow-dusted hair from Jimin's forehead. His thumb lingered, gentle but possessive. I've got you, always. The footsteps stopped. For a moment, neither of them moved, listening. Then came a whisper, cold, taunting. Looking for someone. Jimin's gasp was sharp, involuntary, and Jungkook spun, his body shielding Jimin. Out of the shadows emerged a figure, tall, sleek, and threateningly calm, face partially obscured by a hood. Jungkook's hand went to Jimin's waist, pulling him behind, protective and possessive. You, Jungkook hissed under his breath, rage and fear warring in his eyes. What do you want from us? The figure laughed softly, a sound that made Jimin's skin crawl. Oh, Jungkook, you can't hide forever, not from me, and not from him. Their gaze flicked to Jimin, eyes glinting with cruel amusement. Interesting choice you've made, bringing him into this mess. Jimin stepped forward, surprising even himself. Mess? You think this is a mess? You've been hiding from yourselves more than anyone else, and now you're dragging me into your whatever this is. His voice cracked, emotion raw, a mixture of fear, anger, and betrayal. Jungkook's hand tightened on Jimin's wrist, pulling him closer. Don't. I don't want you hurt because of me. Then tell me, Jimin shouted, snowflakes clinging to his lashes as tears threatened to spill. Tell me everything, Jungkook. I can take it. I need to know. The tension between them was electric, charged with emotion, fear, and an unspoken passion that made every word, every glance tremble with intensity. Jungkook's eyes softened, guilt and longing mingling with the urgency of the moment. Jimin, I was trying to keep you safe from a world that doesn't forgive easily. From people who wouldn't hesitate. And yet you think holding me like a shield, whispering pretty promises will make me forget. Jimin's voice was cutting now, pain sharpening every syllable. Do you even realize what you've done to me, to us? Jungkook swallowed, his chest rising and falling with quick, shallow breaths. I know I've been selfish, but I love you, and I would do anything to protect you, even if it destroys me." Jimin's eyes glimmered with tears, the snow melting against his cheeks. "Then prove it," he whispered, voice trembling, "because words aren't enough anymore." The figure in the shadows laughed again, slow and sinister. "Prove it or lose everything." Then, almost imperceptibly, they melted back into the darkness, leaving only an echo, the cold wind, and the heavy tension between the two of them. Jungkook exhaled, pressing his forehead to Jimin's. "I swear I'll make this right. I won't let them, or anyone, take you from me." Jimin leaned into him, trembling, overwhelmed by the mix of fear, relief, and undeniable longing. "Then don't let go," he murmured. "Not now, not ever." And in the shadowed alley, with snow swirling like a blizzard around them, they held each other, two hearts beating frantically, two souls entwined amidst danger, passion, and the quiet magic of New Year's night. The air was thick with tension when Jungkook finally led Jimin into the abandoned warehouse at the edge of the city. Snowflakes swirled outside the broken windows, brushing against the cracked glass like icy whispers of a world that felt far away. Inside, the faint smell of dust and rust mingled with the lingering warmth of bodies that had once sought refuge here. Jungkook closed the door with a heavy thud, and the sound seemed to echo the racing of their hearts. Jimin's eyes roamed the dim space, uncertainty and suspicion etching his expression. "Why here?" he asked, voice tight. "Of all places, you drag me into a frozen ghost town." "Because it's hidden, it's temporary. It's—" Jungkook's words faltered, his jaw tightening. "It's the only place where we can talk without someone, without watching." Jimin stepped closer, anger simmering beneath his pale cheeks. "You've been hiding everything from me, Jungkook. Secrets, lies, shadows following you. And now I'm supposed to just trust that I'm safe because we're in some creepy warehouse." Jungkook's gaze softened, yet it was shadowed with guilt and raw longing. "I didn't want you involved. I didn't want you to see the part of me I'm not proud of, but I can't pretend anymore." He took a step closer, their proximity electric, tension lacing the space between them. "I can't lose you, Jimin. I can't." Jimin's hands trembled as he brushed them across his own arms. "You think just saying that fixes months of silence? Months of me wondering what's real and what is?" His eyes glimmered with tears he refused to shed. "You make promises, Jungkook, but promises aren't enough. I need truth. I need—" Before he could finish, Jungkook's hands were on his shoulders, firm but trembling. "Then you'll get it," he said, voice low, intimate, almost a growl. "All of it. The truth, the danger, the stakes. I'll tell you everything tonight. But you have to promise me no interruptions, no running away." Jimin's chest heaved. The storm of emotions, fear, fury, desire, hurt, collided inside him. "Fine," he said, voice sharp. "But if I find out you lied again, Jungkook, I swear." He trailed off, his warning unspoken but heavy in the air. Jungkook closed the distance between them, pressing a forehead to Jimin's. The warmth of their bodies collided, the cold air outside forgotten. "I know. I'd rather die than betray your trust now." The warehouse seemed to shrink around them as Jungkook began to unravel the truth. "There are people, dangerous people who have been after me for years, and now somehow they know about you, about us." His voice was steady, but the tremor in his hands betrayed his fear. "I thought I could keep you away from it, keep you safe, but I can't anymore. You're already in it, Jimin, and I hate that I brought you into this chaos." Jimin's breathing quickened. "You don't get it, Jungkook. I don't care about the danger. I care about you. You've been holding yourself back, hiding, torturing yourself and me along with you. I'm tired of pretending I don't notice." His hands found Jungkook's chest, clinging, desperate. "I want all of it, the truth, the fear, the passion, even the lies if that's what it takes for you to trust me." Jungkook's eyes darkened, a mix of longing and frustration flashing through them. He captured Jimin's lips in a kiss that was urgent, demanding, and raw. It was a collision of years of suppressed desire, guilt, and desperation. Jimin responded immediately, hands tangling in Jungkook's hair, pulling him closer, wanting more, needing the connection that had been denied for far too long. When they finally broke apart, breathless and trembling, Jimin whispered, "You're impossible. You know that, right?" His lips curved into a small, defiant smile, though his eyes shimmered with tears. "You make it impossible, too. Jungkook admitted, voice hoarse, thumb brushing over Jimin's cheek. I can't help it. I can't stay away from you even if it destroys me. The tension escalated again as footsteps, light, deliberate, almost ghostly, echoed outside the warehouse door. Both of them froze. Jimin's grip on Jungkook's arm tightened. Who is it this time? Jungkook's jaw clenched. It doesn't matter, not yet, but we can't ignore it. His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed a dangerous mix of fear and determination. Stay close to me. Whatever happens, I won't let anyone take you from me. Jimin leaned into him instinctively, heart pounding, mind racing with every possibility. Then let's face it together, he said, almost defiantly. Whatever danger, whatever secrets, whatever anything, we face it together. For a moment, the world outside ceased to exist. Snow swirled against broken windows, the city's distant cheers of New Year's Eve faded into a quiet hum, and the danger lurking in the shadows felt both terrifying and exhilarating. They were a single pulse of heat and defiance, hearts pounding in synchrony, souls intertwined amidst uncertainty and fear. Then, without warning, a voice rang through the warehouse, clear, chilling, and impossibly close. Well, looks like I found you. Jungkook and Jimin spun toward the sound, eyes wide, hearts leaping. From the shadows emerged a figure more familiar than either expected, someone from Jungkook's past, someone whose presence brought more questions than answers. And in that instant, the fragile bubble of safety, trust, and intimacy shattered. Jimin's hand found Jungkook's chest again, fingers digging into fabric. Who? He started, voice trembling. Jungkook's eyes narrowed, a storm brewing inside them. It's someone I thought I left behind, someone who will stop at nothing to make me regret the choices I've made. And now, they're here for you too. The snow outside blurred into a haze of white as adrenaline and fear collided. For the first time, the stakes were no longer abstract. They were immediate, dangerous, and impossible to ignore. And in the midst of chaos, desire, and betrayal, Jungkook and Jimin clung to each other, hearts racing, breath mingling, and a truth undeniable. Nothing would ever be the same. The warehouse felt smaller now, oppressive, every shadow stretching longer than it should. Jungkook's fingers dug into Jimin's waist as they both faced the figure stepping from the shadows. Snowflakes drifting in through broken windows clung to hair and clothing, melting into tiny rivulets, but neither of them noticed. Their world had narrowed to the three of them, and the air was so thick with tension it almost vibrated. You, Jungkook said, his voice low, dangerous, every syllable laced with years of anger and unresolved fear. His chest heaved, and his hands trembled just enough to betray the calm he tried to project. The figure smiled, but it wasn't warm. It was sharp, predatory. Kooky, always so dramatic, and who's this? The gaze flicked to Jimin, slow, calculating. Your little shield, your weakness. Jimin's jaw tightened, but he stepped forward anyway, courage flaring despite the fear coiling in his stomach. Don't you dare talk about him like that, he snapped. He's not your toy, and neither am I. The figure laughed, soft and cruel, echoing through the empty warehouse. Ah, the brave one speaks. I like that. But do you think your bravery will matter? Do you think your pretty little love bubble will protect you from the truth from me? Jungkook's eyes darkened. Enough! You've crossed the line. Say another word, and I swear you'll regret it. His voice was tight, dangerous, and Jimin could feel the energy radiating off him like heat in the frozen air. The intruder tilted their head, amused, before stepping closer. Kooky, you think you can keep everyone at bay? Keep him safe. Keep yourself unscathed. You've always been so careful, but careful doesn't work anymore. Jimin's hands went to Jungkook's chest, clutching his jacket. What do you mean, careful doesn't work? His voice was a mixture of panic and urgency, almost desperate. Who are you? What do you want from us? I'm the consequence of your past, Jungkook, the figure said, voice smooth, almost seductive in its menace. The part of you you never wanted Jimin to see, and now he's tangled in it too. Jungkook's grip on Jimin tightened, protective and possessive. Stay behind me, he said, voice low, dangerous. Whatever this is, I won't let it hurt you. Jimin shook his head, eyes glimmering with tears, frustration, and fiery resolve. I'm not staying behind you. I'm not hiding anymore. Not from this. Not from you. Not from us. He brushed a strand of snow-dusted hair from Jungkook's forehead. If we face this, we face it together. The figure's smile widened, sharp and cruel. Ah, young love, so defiant, so intoxicating, I almost envy it, almost. A pause. But reality has teeth, boys, and sometimes teeth bite harder than hearts ever could. A gust of wind blew through the broken windows, carrying snow into the room like needles. Jimin shivered but refused to move back. Instead, he pressed closer to Jungkook, their bodies pressing together in defiance and necessity, heat against the cold, desire mingling with fear. Jungkook exhaled sharply, leaning his forehead to Jimin's. You shouldn't be here like this. It's dangerous, more dangerous than you know. His thumb brushed Jimin's cheek, warm and trembling. But I can't hold you back anymore. I won't. You never do, Jimin whispered, voice trembling, low and intimate. You never hold back from me, even when it hurts, even when it terrifies me. Jungkook's lips brushed Jimin's in a searing kiss, urgent, desperate, mingling fear and desire. Jimin responded instantly, hands threading through Jungkook's hair, pulling him closer, as if proximity could ward off the danger surrounding them. Every heartbeat, every breath, every inch of their closeness screamed intimacy, passion, and need, an undeniable connection forged in chaos. The figure laughed again, slow, deliberate, and chilling. Enjoy your little moment. You won't have it for long. Then, almost teasingly, they tilted their head. Cookie, do you really think love will save you from your own mistakes? Do you think it will keep him alive? Jungkook's jaw tightened, rage and fear flaring simultaneously. You've underestimated us, he hissed, voice trembling with barely restrained emotion. We'll survive, no matter what. Jimin's fingers dug into Jungkook's shoulders, eyes wild with determination. We will, together, you and me, always. The figure stepped back into the shadows, disappearing as quickly as they had appeared, leaving only the echo of their laughter and the lingering tension, heavy and suffocating. Jungkook sank to the ground, pulling Jimin into his lap, holding him fiercely. I can't lose you. I've been haunted by my past for too long, but I won't let it take you. His voice cracked, raw and vulnerable. Jimin pressed his lips to Jungkook's neck, holding him just as tightly. Then don't ever let go, not now, not ever. The warehouse felt silent again, but the danger hadn't left. It was a living thing, waiting outside the fragile bubble of heat and protection they had carved for themselves. And even as they clung to each other, hearts pounding, breaths mingling, both knew the worst was far from over. The past had caught up, secrets would demand their due, and love, however intense, was no shield from what was coming next. The city lights outside the warehouse blurred through the frost-covered windows. But inside, Jungkook and Jimin existed in a world suspended between fear and longing. The cold air stung their lungs, but it was nothing compared to the storm raging between them, the unresolved tension, the unspoken truths, and the dangerous game that shadowed their every heartbeat. Jimin's gaze was sharp, restless, as he paced the worn concrete floor. You're not telling me everything, he said, voice low but trembling. I can feel it, Jungkook. You're holding back. What aren't you saying? Jungkook ran a hand through his hair, jaw tight, eyes dark with exhaustion and guilt. It's complicated, it's dangerous, and I... He stopped abruptly, swallowing, the words lodged like a stone in his throat. I can't risk telling you everything, not yet. Jimin stopped, his chest rising and falling rapidly. Not yet. Jungkook, every second we wait, every secret you bury, it eats at me. You think I won't notice? You think I won't feel it? His voice cracked, thick with frustration, hurt, and an edge of desire that made Jungkook's stomach twist. You asterisk feel it because I can't hide it, Jungkook admitted, taking a step closer. The space between them was electric, charged with emotion, fear, and the unspoken bond that had been forged in fire and snow. I can't hide from you, Jimin, even when I try. Jimin's hands went to Jungkook's chest, trembling but firm, pressing into him as if to anchor the storm raging in both of them. Then stop trying, he whispered, voice low, intimate, and laced with heat. Stop hiding. I can handle it. Whatever it is, whatever comes next, we face it together. Jungkook's lips found Jimin's in a searing, desperate kiss, full of longing, frustration, and unspoken promises. Jimin responded immediately, hands tangling in Jungkook's hair, pulling him closer as if proximity alone could shield them from the dangers waiting outside. The kiss deepened, desperate and urgent, a mixture of fear, desire, and the need to claim the other fully in a world that offered no guarantees. When they finally broke apart, breaths ragged and bodies pressed together, Jimin whispered, "You're impossible, you know that? You make it impossible to hate you, even when I should." His lips curved into a defiant smile, though the tension in his eyes betrayed the turmoil inside him. "I know," Jungkook admitted, voice hoarse, fingers brushing over Jimin's cheek. "And I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to doubt us, even if the world outside this room is trying to tear us apart." A sudden noise at the warehouse door froze them both. Footsteps, light but deliberate, echoing in the cavernous space. Jungkook's grip on Jimin's waist tightened instinctively, protective and possessive. "They're back," he murmured, voice low but firm. "And this time they won't wait in the shadows, they'll come for us directly." Jimin's eyes hardened, fiery despite the fear. "Then let them come. We'll deal with it, together, you and me. No more hiding, no more running." His hands clutched Jungkook's jacket, pulling him into an embrace that was part reassurance, part defiance, and part raw, heated desire. Jungkook's lips brushed Jimin's temple, a quiet vow in the storm of emotions. "I'll fight. I'll do whatever it takes. You have to trust me." "I do," Jimin whispered back, voice shaking, breath mingling with Jungkook's. "But you have to let me in, all of me. No more secrets." A shadow moved near the broken windows, sharp and deliberate, and both of them froze. A familiar, dangerous presence emerged, someone from Jungkook's past, someone whose very existence had caused sleepless nights, mistakes, and regrets. "You really think love protects you?" the figure taunted, voice dripping with malice and amusement. "Do you think passion and promises can keep the consequences of the past at bay?" Jungkook stepped forward, protective, defiant. "We'll see about that. You don't get to dictate our fate. Not now, not ever." Jimin pressed himself closer, lips brushing Jungkook's neck, whispering, "Then let's prove them wrong. Together." The heat in his voice, the trembling urgency, the raw need, made Jungkook's chest tighten, desire and determination mingling in a heady, dangerous cocktail. The intruder smirked, circling them slowly. "You think you can survive the truth, the secrets, the lies that you've buried. The world doesn't forgive, boys, and neither do I." Jungkook's hands clenched into fists, but he kept them around Jimin, protective and possessive. "We survive, together. No one can touch him. No one can touch us, not you, not anyone." Jimin's head tilted back, eyes dark with defiance and emotion. "Then don't let go, not now, not ever. We're ours, even if the world is against us." The figure laughed, soft and cruel, then disappeared into the shadows as quickly as they had come, leaving only an echo, a lingering threat, and the undeniable intimacy and intensity between Jungkook and Jimin. For a long moment, they simply held each other, bodies trembling, hearts racing, breaths mingling in the frozen air. The snow outside fell silently, but inside, fire and ice collided in a heartbeat of desire, fear, and unbreakable connection. "I swear," Jungkook murmured, pressing his lips to Jimin's temple, "I won't let them take you. I won't let anything take you." Jimin's fingers threaded through his hair, holding him close, whispering, "Then fight with me, always." And in that warehouse, amidst shadows, danger, and snow, they clung to each other, hearts beating as one, ready to face whatever the world threw at them next, knowing that love, messy, dangerous, consuming, was their only shield. The snow outside had thickened, falling in relentless sheets that coated the city in a blinding white. Inside the warehouse, the world felt smaller, tighter, suffocating with every passing second. Jungkook and Jimin pressed close, their breaths mingling in the icy air, but the tension between them was not just from the cold. It was from the secrets waiting to unravel, from the past clawing its way into the fragile present. "I can't keep doing this," Jimin whispered, voice trembling but fierce, as he pushed against Jungkook's chest just enough to look into his eyes. "I can't live in half-truths, in shadows, in fear. I need everything or nothing." Jungkook's jaw clenched. I know I want to tell you everything, but some truths, he trailed off, swallowing hard, as if the act alone could choke him. Some truths will break you. Jimin's lips curled into a defiant, almost painful smile. Then I'll let them break me, or maybe they'll make me stronger. But I refuse to be left out of your life, Jungkook. Not anymore. His fingers dug into Jungkook's coat, pulling him closer, a desperate mix of need, love, and raw defiance. Jungkook's eyes softened, but the darkness behind them remained. It's not just about me. It's about us asterisk, everything we're fighting against, everything that's coming for us. And there's a part of my past, a part I thought I buried that's coming back now. Jimin's breath hitched. You mean the figure from before, the one who's been following us? Jungkook's hands held Jimin's face, forcing him to meet his gaze. Yes, and more. They're not just shadows, they're tied to me in ways I never wanted to remember. To face them, I'll have to show you the worst of me. Jimin's eyes softened with empathy, mingled with desire and fear. Then let me see it. Let me see all of you, Jungkook. I can handle it. I want to handle it as long as I'm with you. Jungkook's lips crushed against Jimin's in a kiss that was urgent, fiery, and almost violent in its intensity. Hands roamed, clinging, pulling, desperate to communicate what words could not. Protection, passion, and the terrifying thrill of vulnerability. Jimin responded just as fiercely, arching into him, tangling fingers into hair, every movement screaming intimacy and unspoken promises. They broke apart, breaths ragged, chests heaving, and Jimin's eyes were shining with a mix of tears and defiance. You make it impossible to be mad at you, he whispered, even when I should hate you for keeping me in the dark. Jungkook's thumb brushed across Jimin's cheek, tracing a line of snow and tears. I never meant to hurt you. I wanted to protect you. But protection, it's never simple, not with me. His voice was low, rough, and laced with something dangerous and compelling. A sudden noise froze them, the unmistakable sound of metal scraping against concrete. Both spun toward the source, and for the first time, Jimin's fear overtook desire. A tall, familiar silhouette stepped into the dim light, the figure from Jungkook's past, eyes glittering with menace and knowledge. You think hiding will save you, the figure taunted. You think he will survive your mistakes, Kookie, or do you finally realize some things can't be undone? Jungkook stepped protectively in front of Jimin, jaw tight. You've had your fun, but I won't let you touch him. Not tonight, not ever. The figure laughed softly, almost musical but cruel. Oh, you still don't get it. You can protect him all you want, but you can't protect him from you asterisk. Jimin blinked, confusion and panic warring in his expression. From him, from you, Jungkook, what are they talking about? Jungkook's eyes darkened, haunted. It's complicated. They know everything I tried to bury, and now it's all coming back. And you're part of it whether you want to be or not. The tension escalated. Jimin's hands gripped Jungkook's jacket as he pressed close, trying to ground both of them. Then tell me, I'm not going anywhere. I can handle it. I need to know every secret, every mistake, everything. Jungkook exhaled sharply, his forehead resting against Jimin's. All right, but you need to promise me you won't look away. You won't judge. Not now, not ever. I promise, Jimin whispered, voice trembling with resolve and need. I'm not leaving, I'm not hiding. I'm yours, Jungkook, all of me. Jungkook's lips met Jimin. Again, slower this time, more deliberate. A kiss that carried vulnerability, desire, fear, and the promise of unbreakable connection. Hands roamed and grasped, bodies pressed together, warmth against cold, the world outside forgotten. Every movement, every gasp, every touch was charged with intimacy and defiance, a declaration that no shadow, no past, and no danger could sever what they shared. When they finally pulled apart, hearts racing, breaths mingling, Jungkook's voice was rough and low. You ready? He asked, eyes dark with storm and determination. Jimin nodded, trembling, fierce, and unwavering. Ready, always ready, with you. Outside, the snow continued to fall, relentless and blinding. Inside, two hearts beat as one, defiant against the shadows, the lies, the danger, and the past. Whatever came next, they would face it together, desire and fear intertwined, love and chaos inseparable, a fragile yet unbreakable bond forged in fire, snow, and seconds of pure magic. The warehouse was silent, save for the faint hiss of snow slipping through the broken windows. Jungkook and Jimin stood together, bodies close, hearts pounding in a rhythm that had become their only certainty in a world of chaos. Outside, the storm raged, but inside they were a universe of their own, fragile, defiant, unshakable. The figure from Jungkook's past had vanished into the shadows hours ago, leaving only the memory of menace, the echo of threats, and the weight of secrets finally laid bare. Jungkook's hands trembled slightly as he brushed a lock of snow-streaked hair from Jimin's forehead. "It's over," he whispered, voice hoarse, yet resolute. "For now, at least." Jimin pressed his palms to Jungkook's chest, feeling the rapid beat of his heart beneath his fingers. "It's never really over, is it?" His voice was soft, trembling, a mixture of fear, longing, and love. "The past, the danger, the mistakes, they'll always be there." Jungkook nodded slowly, eyes dark but steady. "I know, but we've survived it all, every shadow, every threat together. And as long as we're together, nothing can take us apart." Jimin leaned into him, forehead against Jungkook's. "Even when it hurts, even when it scares me to death." "Especially then," Jungkook replied, lips brushing Jimin's temple. "Because even in fear, even in pain, we have each other, and that's stronger than anything waiting outside." They kissed, slow this time, lingering, savoring the intimacy that had been forged in chaos and desire. Hands traced curves and lines, holding on as if to anchor themselves to reality, to the undeniable truth between them. Each touch, each sigh was a reaffirmation. They had survived, they had chosen each other, and no storm, literal or metaphorical, could undo that. Jimin pulled back slightly, eyes glimmering with unshed tears, lips trembling in a smile. "I was so scared," he admitted, "but I never doubted us, not for a second." Jungkook cupped his face, thumb brushing over the tear that had escaped. "Neither did I, even when everything went wrong. Even when I thought I might lose you, I always chose you." For a moment, silence enveloped them, warm and full, the snowstorm outside now a distant murmur. They held each other in the fragile quiet, breathing each other in, hearts beating in unison. The world outside, with its threats, shadows, and chaos, existed, but it was powerless here. Here, in this frozen city, in this stolen moment of time, love reigned. Jimin rested his head on Jungkook's chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. "Then let's promise," he whispered. "No more hiding, no more running, no more secrets, just us, always us." Jungkook tightened his embrace, lips brushing the crown of Jimin's head. "Always," he murmured, "through everything. Through every storm, through every snowflake and shadow, always." Outside, fireworks erupted in distant bursts of gold and crimson, their light reflecting in the snow and in the eyes of two souls who had endured too much to ever let go. They kissed again, tender, passionate, unafraid, as if the world itself had paused to honor the magic of that single, eternal embrace. And in that moment, seconds stretched into infinity. The past was behind them, the dangers still lurking beyond the walls, but none of it mattered. They had each other. And sometimes love, messy, consuming, unyielding, was all they needed to survive everything. Jungkook held Jimin tighter, and Jimin whispered against his chest, "I can't imagine a world without you." "You never will," Jungkook replied, voice thick with emotion, "because I'll never let it be without us." Snow fell silently outside, blanketing the city in white, and for the first time in what felt like forever, the world was still, safe, and theirs, if only for this moment. And in their hearts, amid passion, fear, desire, and vulnerability, a simple truth remained unshakable. Together, they were unstoppable. The storm would come again, the shadows would return, but love, this fierce, untamed, undeniable love, would endure, always.